model we have detailed so far is not completely detailed, but as it was said on the further training of CYPE for CYPE video, we said that this training is based on a structure that is very similar to one of the example jobs that come with BIM Steel. So the first trick of this video is going to be how to open two parallel BIM Steel windows. So right now we have our model open, and if we come back to CYPE's menu and click again on BIM Steel, we will be able to open two parallel BIM Steel windows. To the left, we have our model, and in the new window, what we're going to do is click on Examples, and we're going to install them all, and we're going to select number 4, so E04. This example job that comes with BIM Steel is a pergola, very similar to the one that we have been solving. So now that is here, I clicked on full window, and to the left we have the model we've been creating together, and this you can see that it has all connections already solved. Is BIM Steel's example number 4, and we're going to use it to complete our model. So let's practice again how to share to the common library that BIM Steel has, and for that we're going to come to the example job. And for example, we're gonna click here in this pyramid icon, and we're going to export this connection. For that, we're going to click on export. We're gonna name it, for example, Steel Training. I believe it was 4. We have previously exported 3 other connections, so we're going to select this and say BIM Steel or Steel Training 4, and it is not yet shared to the common library. It is only available right now for this job, meaning that we have to click again here in the red arrow icon, and we have to select that we want to export it to the directory in which the common library is shared. So we click accept. We make sure that it's in that library by clicking here in this right logo, and it will appear right here. So we now know that it is in the common library. So this is BIM Steel example job number 5, and coming back to our model, we're going to edit that same node, and we're going to make use of the connections already created in the example job. So by clicking on connections, now the opposite process, we have to click on the green arrow icon, and we have to select here the one that we have exported. But first, it's right here, ST4, and we have to it will be now here on the list. And one last step is clicking again in import and selecting which connection we want to apply. So the first import was to have it on this jobs library, and now this one is to actually apply the connection to our model. The same thing we should do with the connections that are in the example job. If we really want to have a full completed model, which we can generate the detailing drawings for, so maybe at least the first all the connections of the first frame. So coming back to this model of the example job, I'm going to edit this connection. And even though they have solved it together with also solving the connection of this angle section with this var v1, we're going to activate those options from this option downward. We're going to unselect these operations. And we're going to use something we haven't done before, which is creating a group of operations. So right here, if we click on new group, we're going to start adding the operations that are still activated. So from this one upwards. So here, this one shall go in group number 1. This one too, we're going to add it to the breakdown of that group by placing it somewhere around the last operation that we have inserted. The order of the operations should be kept the same as it was on the list, because the order is important. And this is one way to make use of conditions that you have solved, but that didn't have exactly the same bars reaching the node. So this one, they have created the node counting on V4. And it is not our case, but we're going to reuse it anyway with the next option that we're going to comment in a minute. So now that I have a group of operations and that are the ones that I would like to export, remember we have kept out of this selection these ones. I can come here to group and click here on export, but this export option is only for the selected operations. So it's going to export only whatever operations are in that group, and we're going to name this ST5, and it doesn't come with V4 operations. That is exactly what we want. And again, if we come to the connection library, we have one step farther to do, because that is now available for these jobs library only. So we have to come here and say export to the common and shared library. And now that is shared, we can come back to our model, come to our node, which only had the eye sections, not the angle sections. And now let's try to apply the operations that we have exported by clicking here in connections library. We click on the green arrow, we select ST5, which should be down the list. And now that is available for the job, we click here on import, and it is right here. So in this case, V1 and V2 were not exactly the same name. Let's repeat that operation. So the import, whenever we click here and select the operation and say accept, the software allows us to see the references that were given to the bars in each model. So in this case, V1 is V1. We can see it right here. Let's make this window bigger. So V1 is the only one, P1 are the only coincident bars, but V2 from this model is actually V3 in the other, and vice versa. And P1 should be adjusted to the top flange of V1 or V2. So let's see why that's not happening. That's the adjust of P1. Maybe that operation didn't get, we didn't bring it, so we're going to select it, adjust bar. We're gonna place it on the top of our list, and it's going to be at the adjustment of P1 to the top flange of any of these other V1 or V2 farthest face. And I guess this plate, which says placa 3, has to be welded to the opposite side. So we say plate, and it was generated perpendicular to this plane, and we're going to say that it doesn't have any displacements. And we're going to make its eye width even bigger. And then we have the connection. So we can reuse the models that we have previously created, and they will be available for other times that we use them. Please complete all the connections in our model before we generate the detailing drawings.